The third episode of Fallout Season 2 opens with our ghoul/not-ghoul friend, Thaddeus. He seems to be doing quite well for himself, running his very own sweatshop.
Every morning I wake up and put one foot on the ground and the other up the ass of a 12-year-old Indonesian girl.
Now clearly the operation here is to have children remove the bottle caps off of the bottles of Sunset Sarsaparilla to subsequently use them as currency. They're not looking for the ones with the blue stars on them. But I don't understand where these fresh bottles of that good sarsaparilla are coming from. There's a conveyor belt, and full crates of this stuff are just coming through from the outside. There's no wear and tear on them, so they're new. How are they being produced?
It was the youngest Chinese sweatshop labor we could find.
Even if we assume that this is taking place at the or at a different Sunset Sarsaparilla production plant, and that it's fully automated, and that Thaddeus somehow got it working again, is there a giant stash of bottle caps that the machine uses in production? Why not just take the stash? Or maybe the caps are produced from scratch by the machine? But even then, there's a massive stash of raw material for both the caps and the drink. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about it too much.
Trudy, why aren't you making money for me?
Pip gotta be out there every motherfucking day keeping his bitches in line. Oh no.
Now before you say anything, this is not Macaulay Culkin playing Legate Linnaeus. He's too small, his face is too intact, and Linnaeus was to be Kaisar's default successor if he had died. And he's very much dead. Which means I was correct in my previous prediction that Kaisar died, the Legion fell apart, and Linnaeus died as well. Macaulay Culkin is instead playing a new character called Legate Lacerta. Personally, I thought he was going to play that guy that takes over for Vulpes and Coulter if he were to die. But I guess this means that Vulpes is also dead.
First of all, shame on you. That is awful. And secondly, Prima Noctis isn't even a Roman tradition.
You know, this Legion is really quite different. For a woman who isn't a courier, they're allowing her to talk quite a bit. Nah, that's more like it. Still, could be worse.
Crucifixion lasts hours. It's a slow, horrible death. Well, at least it gets you out in the open air.
But let's back up a bit.
We're at war.
With who?
The new California Republic. The Khans. The Brotherhood.
How are they at war with the Great Khans? Last we saw, they were just a bunch of yahoos in Novak. Every Great Khan ending in New Vegas is about them being driven north or dying. Maybe there's more to it. But anyway, what's important is that Kaisar is dead. We see him here with his entire getup, including his displacer glove. What exactly he died from is unclear, but I think it's safe to assume that the tumor in his head eventually got him. And since a brain tumor can lead to sudden and spontaneous death, I'm going to assume that he was standing on this hill, making a speech or something, and croaked on the spot. Afterwards, the predictions made by the likes of Mr. House, Ulysses, and really anyone with a moderate level of intelligence and knowledge of history came true. Kaisar was deified, and the Legion turned on themselves. Now supposedly Kaisar wrote the name of his successor down, put the piece of paper in his pocket, and then checked out. From what we can see, the note says,
I am so fucking retarded. You say funny thing.
But in all seriousness though, this is a bit of retard Ed, because I understand that both sides would want to stay close to the body, but isn't this a bit much? They have their observation towers just staring at each other all day. They're close enough that they can engage in daily conversation. Oh well. Really, I only have one more question. Where is this? Because it certainly doesn't look like it's Fortification Hill. But more on that later, because while the geography doesn't have to be a direct recreation of New Vegas' map, something still feels weird about this.
I'm the only sitting congressperson in this administration to have refused corporate funding.
You're beginning to sound red, and by that I mean you prefer a hammer and sickle over a hamburger.
Now here we see something that can help us out a lot. A map. Someday we really need to go deep on this. Hopefully we can find one that's clear and easier to read. I can't make out the names from a lot of this, but this area right here is most significant. I see New Vegas, Hoover Dam, Nellis Air Force Base, Red Rock Canyon, Mojave Outpost, Good Springs, Jacobstown, The Narrows, the Dead Horses Camp, the Grand Staircase, Mutant Cannibals, Maxon Bunker, the Circle of Steel Hideout, and Ceres Town. Some of these were supposed to show up in Van Buren, I think. That's the cancelled Fallout 3. There's discussion going on Reddit about this map being a slightly modified version of a fan-made map. But for now, let's examine a different aspect of this map. Kaisar's Legion still controls Arizona from the looks of things. And does this mean that the Legion has a force that's on the move towards Nellis Air Force Base? Area 51 is up here, that's where this Brotherhood is now, but the other 3 chapters that were invited are listed down here, indicating that they're further south and off this map. The Grand Canyon is directly east of Las Vegas. Yosemite is west in California. The only one to the south is Coronado. For some reason, the west, aka California, is just listed as Maxon on this map. I gotta be missing something. Please leave any ideas in the comment section. They have the right color scheme, but due to the infighting, maybe this flag right here is of the Legion chapter that Lucy is at, which means it's not Fortification Hill, but it's very close to New Vegas and Hoover Dam.
The ordinary captain was sent to a research center in California. Roger Maxon.
So Quintus goes on to give the viewers who've never played the original Fallout game some exposition. He tells the story of the Brotherhood of Steel's founding, but he peppers in some nonsense about Maxon choosing God over man. It's been a while since I've played them, but I don't remember anything particularly religious about the founding of the Brotherhood. So we can conclude that it's just Quintus's dumbass making things up.
I mean, we have clerics back at the Commonwealth.
No, you don't. Or sure, maybe you do, but you call them scribes.
They're just not, like, in charge, you know?
Yes, we know. There's only ever been one scribe who became an elder, Elijah, and he went completely insane.
Running out of volunteers, last ones couldn't see beyond their own greed.
So Cooper gets back on his feet and tracks Lucy down to the Legion camps.
We gotta thrust. Close in.
Motherfucker. Oh, you lousy fucking motherfucker.
Discovering the Civil War, he concocts a plan that has him fast travel to Camp Golf. When he got there and I saw the tents with the satellite equipment, I was like, is he here to recruit the misfits? Is that a good idea? But it turns out there's no one here. Except for some reason, one of House's Securatrons loaded up with Victor. Victor proceeds to tell him that someone did a number on my numbers. Victor can normally jump between Securatrons, but a lot of them have been destroyed. Which tells me one thing. House never got his platinum chip. Or at the very least, he never got to upgrade and unleash his entire Securatron army. Victor also goes on to claim that Robert House is, quote, gone. Cooper reminds him of how House always thinks ahead, but Victor tells him that in order to live forever, he needed cold fusion. Now Victor is networked with House and the Lucky 38 computers, and he was just left here at Camp Golf to rot. I don't see how House could have predicted Cooper coming here, so right now it really does seem like House is dead. He died during the events of New Vegas, but could have survived somehow if he had cold fusion. Something he needed required more energy than even a hydroelectric dam could produce. Lastly, Victor tells Cooper that there are some NCR remnants in the hills. He doesn't specify which hills, but Cooper seems to figure it out regardless.
I should grab my... You don't need your armor, I got a spare you could use. They give you spares?
Bitch, you don't know the half of it. You can't throw a rock in the Commonwealth without hitting a full suit of power armor. All the way up to T-60s and X-01s that really shouldn't be there.
Motion assist servos. Nice.
Yeah, that's a +2 to your strength stat.
Hey Maximus, can we just be hard-dicked for a second?
Pause.
Without that relic you found, we risk losing the Commonwealth.
I'm sorry, what? What do you mean you risk losing the Commonwealth? Against what? If he's telling the truth, then we might have been wrong about the ending of Fallout 4. The show is now taking place 10 years after the beginning of Fallout 4. Is there some sort of new faction involved, or are they still fighting the Institute? I'm sure the Railroad is a non-factor, but there's no way the Minutemen could have gotten that strong. Maybe the glowing sea is growing, creating a lot more mutants? I wonder if we'll get more info on this. But now we get another look at a map, but I'm not sure of where it could be. Most of these icons are not used in the New Vegas map legend. They're from Fallout 4, with him being from the Commonwealth, it makes sense. But is there anywhere in New Vegas that could have a settlement, an observatory of sorts, a shipwreck, a radio tower, and a radioactive area close to each other? And possibly close to Helios 1? Let me know if you have any ideas in the comments. Switching back to Cooper, we see that he has now fast traveled to the aforementioned hills, and these hills overlook Prim. There he encounters a small group of desert rangers. Where is this? I think it's the Mesquite Mountains campsite. The Mojave outpost is most likely gone, and these rangers are delusional. They tell Cooper that they're aware of shady nukes from over 20 years ago. They tell him that they've been cut off for over 10 years. They think that Cooper can help them contact the NCR, and that they still think that they can win the Mojave campaign. Cooper is just discovering that out here there is also no more NCR. The show is reinforcing the idea that the NCR no longer exists anywhere. Shady Sands really was the nail in the coffin. I maintain the idea that all the other states like Vault City, the Hub, and Arroyo all seceded.
A little piece of advice has helped me sleep at night over the years. If something's dead, it's usually because it deserved to die.
Was it the Republic that defeated Malak, or was it Revan? If it was Revan, then the Republic was never truly tested.
In this case, this Republic was testing by losing its capital city. It failed that test. But anyway, Maximus and Harkness go to where they were going and engage in combat, not with a platinum chip upgraded Securatron, but instead with a malfunctioning one. I gotta say, this fight scene looked kinda goofy to me, but it is interesting to find out the Securatrons have fusion cores in them. That piece of information is not going to help someone like Lucy, however, and we have no real idea how long she's been crucified. Cooper has been fast traveling around now and he's here to get her. So he just bogarts his way into the Legion camp to make him a deal. And holy crap, that's a double 6-pack. A 12-pack. But anyway, he says he'll trade Lucy for the location of the NCR remnants.
They gave that to me for saving a man. Not for killing the 3 it took to do it.
That's actually quite profound.
Maybe this was a mistake.
Why? What did you do?
Maybe something good. Maybe something stupid.
So Coop rigs a few barrels of dynamite to go off in the Legion camp, provoking the two sides to engage in the confusion and opportunity. What he says here is mirroring the games. You make your decisions, but you don't know what's going to happen in those ending slides related to it. I can very much see how this can backfire, but the trailer tells us that we'll be seeing more of the Legion, so we can just wait and see. Also, this script is getting kind of long, so let's wrap this up. It's revealed that Maximus and Harkness went to Thaddeus' sweatshop. This sweatshop is filled with children and had a malfunctioning Securatron in it that never attacked any of them. Harkness says, well, we can't have that. But just as he's about to execute the child ghouls, Maximus bonks him on the head with the super sledge, killing him.
I think I just started a war.
Here's what I think might happen. It turns out I was right, that this Harkness was the same Harkness from Rivet City, with a new face and new memories, but decided to keep the last name for fan service reasons. Like Paladin Dance, he joined the Brotherhood, not knowing he's a synth, and rose all the way to the rank of Paladin. The body is going to be recovered, examined/autopsied, and they're going to find the synth component. Then, they'll use it to avoid a full-scale war with the Commonwealth Brotherhood. We have 5 episodes left this season, so see you next week.